This
Got
shit
it.
confusing.
All right. So it's showing we're live.
Mocha S.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not showing live yet.
All right. And we should be up and going. And there it is.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't believe you.
All right.
We live. We live.
We're live. We're live, everybody. All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us for day 2 of the ANITUBE 2020 con here today. And as you can see, I have a group of people here coming in as we're going to get started on our first panel of the day of Webtoons versus Mangas. I just want to say before we go ahead and get into this, though, if you want to go ahead and check those links down below, we've got a few different donations going on right now because everyone knows of the current situations going out right now with COVID-19 happening and still just keeping people locked in, but not to mention the whole issue with George Floyd being killed and passing away because of current issues in our country. We got a ton of different things going on, but we also have a donation for Black Lives Matters. Also, if you want to go ahead and you can take the time to donate to that, it would be much appreciated from me and the rest of the group. But with all that said, I want to go ahead and introduce all of these glorious people, but starting off with me as your host, the boy Sleepies from Project Webtoons. What I got to my left here.
You know everyone's different, like on your screen, right?
Oh, is everyone on different? Everyone's dropping?
Yeah, I remember
Everyone's
next
just
to you,
drops in.
I'm assuming.
God damn it, sleepy.
You could just like honestly just, hey, this is so and so, and then
Yeah,
they could
just
say,
do that.
hi,
Just
this
do
is
that,
me.
This is right. Well, I've also got Daisho here from, of course, the same name, as well as JC2K2000 from the same name. I got JDH. Everyone can hear me. I got my boy Seraph here as well from Project Webtoon. Trent D Money at the very bottom left there.
You know who it is.
You already know. Lord Eisen, he decided to join us. Thank you very much.
The slander starts.
This is a rough start, but you know.
It is a rough start.
But I got everybody here from the Hunter Association as well. But yeah, how's everyone feeling today? I know it's a little late start for us here.
Quite the
Yeah,
late
it is.
start for us.
It is kind of a late start, but you know, we gonna get it together.
Yeah,
Get everything popping, get everything.
Yep.
Retire of God.
I know we had a few bit of technical issues. I know we're missing one person, but it's all good. We'll keep it going here right now. But yeah,
Wait,
what's up?
I did not get an introduction.
Oh,
Fuck you, dude.
Wait, what? I've been on my screen.
He just went over.
but that's
I'm not
Ark.
gonna address the
Yeah,
problem.
this is Ark Dragoon. I'm Rack from Tower of God today. Look at that. Yeah, see?
Yep,
Cape
he
and
got
all.
cape and all,
Yeah.
cape and all. Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. So we got all that out of the way. But yeah, so just to get in with all of this, I know that we haven't really set up a group of how we want to actually handle our versus battle for this one. But we kind of came together at the last minute to figure out how we're going to do it. But I think that we'll just go through each individual topic that we have to discuss with everybody and kind of get all our opinions up and down from it. And then we'll probably have a free for all at the end and just go ahead and on everyone's situation, how they feel with that. But yeah, do you think we all should just jump right into this with some topics to get start off?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
just
go ahead, get
slam
into
right
it.
in the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Facts.
go ahead and get in.
Yeah. All right. So first topic I wanted to go with here for that, just with Webtoons versus mangas. Major differences between the two. Just the biggest overall differences you'd be seeing between the genres, the formats, what really stands out.
Blocking.
Color panels.
Color
No,
panels.
no.
One's for
It's
Korea, one's for Japan.
This is true.
blocking.
Right.
blocking.
Kanjis and language. But
Yeah. The art style is very, very different between the two, because you have many people making webtoons from all over the world, while for manga you have strictly just like Japanese writers. You know what I mean? So webtoons has more of a very, very vast variety of art styles, very vast variety of stories and things like that, while manga is kind of like you got your Eastern style things.
Mhm.
You know,
Very true. Very true.
No, I would agree.
I
The
feel
biggest
like
difference is blocking, meaning like how the panels are set up. I'm reading, right to left in manga, and then for webtoons, it's always up and like left and right, up and down. Okay, because webtoons mean it's on a web page. I'm scrolling down, and which gives room for different types of pages comparatively to manga, where it's like I have to squeeze all of this art into 2 pages that people can see.
That is true. Very, very, very true. Yeah, the blocking does have a completely different format between both of the mediums for sure. I do notice that with webtoons mostly, always left to right, left to right, left to right, universally. Where with mangas it's usually right to left, or every so often I'll see someone will reverse it, but not very. But yeah, Trent, what you say what you think down there? Big differences.
your mic's
Your
muted.
mic's muted.
Trent.
His mic's muted.
Every time, my bad. I was saying earlier, kanjis and shit, but just obviously you just see like different smaller differences. I don't really always notice the I guess art style, just because between author to author, whatever art styles are different. I would actually say, in my opinion, some of the webtoons I've seen have more similar styles to each other than mangas, in my opinion. Like if you read like Tomb Raider King, looks kind of similar. Character style, like there's the character style, the character build. Other than that, I think it really just depends on per story. I don't know if I weigh one better than the other. It just depends on the content.
Okay.
I think with webtoons, what happens with webtoons is that webtoons, they like to incorporate a lot of different things within their stories. So when I say a lot of different things within their stories, like you'll catch multiple powers. Like they have a lot of times webtoons, if there's like, it is a power system based, because of course we have like dramas and slice of lives. But if it's like a power based webtoon, they like to always incorporate maybe 3 or 4 power systems within their world. It's never ever 1 or just 2. And I like that about webtoons. They like to always have to spice it up and always give characters different ways of being powerful than just your regular, what you might see in a manga, stuff like that.
Yeah, very much true. I do see definitely what you're saying with there having being like multiple power sets. Even taking like some of the biggest current reading webtoons between that and mangas itself. Where we got like Tower of God. Everything is pretty much based off of that one style, but you can break it down in subsets as well. But same thing as you go over to manga like Hunter x Hunter, where everything is based on this one power set, but you can break it down some. Now, with that, even talk of power sets, do you find that webtoons has more complex ones compared to say mangas? Because as you see, like there isn't very often that you see a manga that actually like goes super well into its explaining.
Right. I would say that webtoons do that, but a lot of times I see webtoons fumbling because they do that.
Okay.
Personally, if that makes sense. Like I see it happens a lot of times. When they do it, it makes me go, okay. Like it doesn't never like. Sometimes it excites me. Sometimes I'm like, sometimes I'm like, ooh. Like it just depends on the author and how they do it. But
it's not how they do it; it's when they do it. It always feels like it's just
that too,
or it's just put in for exposition. That's what it is.
Right.
I
don't know, for the webtoons that I've read, it's like when they do power systems, for ones I've seen like Tower of God, they go into it and they don't mind actually spending panel upon panel of just explaining it. And sometimes manga doesn't do that. Well, a lot of times manga, they say, here's the power. They kind of explain we're going on to fight. Webtoon does not mind.
I may disagree.
Like Hunter x Hunter, when you do it like Hunter x Hunter, you get complaints. So what do manga artists do? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I've never read Hunter x Hunter, but I've heard about the length in those, like in some of those panels.
Wait, even this guy here is the manga guy, and he's never read Hunter x Hunter.
I mean, well, Hunter x Hunter. I mean, you don't really have to.
This guy.
Me? You talking about me?
I think he's talking about you, Trent.
I think he's talking about you.
I just last year for the first time watched through Hunter x Hunter, like as a first time viewer. So
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm newer into the Hunter x Hunter game. You know what I'm saying? But then I don't even know, and I don't want to read it because I know it's
Was
not
it
completed.
the early 2000s version? Go back.
Oh
Yeah, it was 2011.
Yeah, 2011's best.
Yeah, it was 2011. But I heard that the manga was unfinished, so I was like, why would I pick this up?
Because to everyone, it is done where it is in the anime. Okay, anything else afterwards, we don't talk about it right now.
we can slander the hell out of her.
Let's be real. Hunter x Hunter will never finish. We'll die before Tagashi.
Oh.
Hey,
Wow.
You could be wrong. Yeah, you could be wrong.
No, but that's one of the things you can kind of go against with regular manga, because when they do slow it down, people get all upset because it's not what they're used to.
Exactly.
This is true.
Also true.
Very,
So
very
that's why I
true.
kind of like the webtoons. Like, okay, when I first started reading Tower of God per se, that it was so slow. I was like, when is it gonna pick up? But at the same time, I started to get into the world and it started getting more details. Like, okay, I can understand this. Let me slow it down. Everybody in the chat was like yelling at me because I kept asking questions, but eventually they'll get to it.
Mhm. So they'll.
It will, right? Exactly.
Okay, so the one nice thing there, like there was like with manga, is that even if there is a complex system, they will eventually explain it all the way out. It's not so much like where webtoons, they may say something and then just forget it maybe, or not touch on it enough.
I've seen it happen in both, but at the same, but I think in webtoons they'll go farther into something. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to spice it up. They'll try to make you feel like you're like, okay, I gotta understand this. You know what I'm saying? I think manga that do that are why those are my favorites. You know?
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, if you want to say something, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. I don't know if you was gonna touch on it next. I was just gonna add another distinct difference between the two.
Yeah.
Is the type of storytelling that each does.
Okay.
Like, for instance, manga, as we all know, it has a lot of friendship-based storytelling. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this for my friends. Hey, don't fuck with my friends. I get this massive power-up. Blah blah blah.
That's like fairy tale to me.
Fairy tale, yeah.
The last part was fairy tale. But as for webtoons, it's a lot more darker, I would say, in a lot of aspects. Especially when you have those action-based series and stuff like that. It's not so much as, hey, I'm doing this for my friends. It's more of, hey, I'm doing this because I want to, or hey, I'm doing this because you're messing with something that I care about in a certain way.
Okay, yeah.
Depends on the manga you're reading. I feel like if you're reading shonen-based manga, you're getting a lot of friendship shit. But if you're reading like some seinen, I'm not saying hard seinen like Berserk. I'm saying just seinen. You don't get that friendship shit. You get like people just living their life. So I mean, I don't want to throw that on manga. That's just a genre of manga. I think that's a misconception. You get what I'm saying? I think that's shonen, because when you read stuff like Out, or when you read stuff like Tokyo Revengers, or you read stuff like Berserk, or you read stuff like, when you dive into all of these different type of like manga, it's not just about friendship. These things are just about life, and people trying to be themselves, the best life that they have, which is the same thing as webtoons. So I don't want to put that on manga. I think that's shonen manga.
Yeah, I mean, it is shonen manga, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to say a majority, but a good bit of regular manga has a lot to do with friendship and just the camaraderie between.
I mean, Tower of God got something to do with friendship.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm saying as far as like I'm doing this for my friends type thing. But I know every series has friendship. Every series has,
but I mean,
they have some level of it.
Though.
Yeah,
like I think that's Asian culture. To be completely honest with you, they're about loyalty. I think that's depending. I mean, because I think that goes for both. I don't really think that's like I don't know. I think that's a misconception.
I feel like
I think both there.
Oh, I was just saying, now if we're talking about, and I don't know if we've already narrowed in on straight shonen or whatever, but like, and only with the few webtoons that I have read, I think manga is more driven by the quote unquote power of friendship rather than you get more fake boosts or hype ups. I don't know. And again, maybe I'm just looking at the shonen lane of manga. but I don't think you get that like solo leveling. You don't get that like, oh, he got that boost because of the power of friendship, or even in Tower of God. Yes, my nigga is chasing after a chick and he's got homies or whatever, but that's not what gives him his strength.
That's not really what he's doing. He's not really chasing after the chick though, but
I mean, but he is. But I mean, continue.
But he is, but he isn't.
he is, but not really. It gets beyond that when you get farther in, but like, yeah, but I think I really do think y'all are looking just at shonen, like, because I read a lot of seinen, and that's not what seinen manga is about.
I mean, I get it, but shonen
power, friendship, you don't get no. Like,
I read Kingdom. It's no some of Kingdom, and it's no like they don't get no, like you said, no boost like that. It's just niggas
I mean, you could break shonen up into so many different subsections of. I mean, not shonen a manga into so many different subsections. I mean, like that's
my point.
For everybody, right?
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
So maybe
that's my point.
So I mean, I get you on that part.
I definitely get you. Yo, Azien, you got any input on this one?
You muted?
And muted. Back to back. Every one of y'all.
I already knew it. I knew it before you started talking. I was about to say you on mute.
Nah, I go with Doncho on this one. Like, I think it's more of a Asians culture to be doing like the whole I want to do this for friendship type thing. And not all cases it's like an actual friendship power up. Because like even with Fairy Tail, I know a lot of people have problems with Fairy Tail, but like Urza punching a meteor is 100% within her actual physical power that she can do with one arm. So it's like, but then you got cases where it is friendship power up, like at the end where this nigga Natsu is just like, I'm gonna set my soul on fire. Like, that one was trash.
That was
burning infinite magic. So you know.
But I think even Urza was doing it because her friends were down there. She's going to, but anyways.
Well, you know, the power of friendship it saves us all in so many ways. But yeah,
y'all love Pokemon though.
I just said that.
Well, which one? Which one? The original manga? That was super dark, and they didn't faint.
Actually, kill Pokemon. Hold up. There was an Arbok that got ripped in half. Dog, hold up. And a kids manga.
You out here hitting Arceus, and Arceus over here. Oh my God! Thunder is going on.
I'm a whole ass god. You gonna hit me with a thunderbolt? Hold on.
Yeah. Now I noticed that we did split up there a little bit between we're focusing in on shonen for the manga side, but also even going in a little bit in the webtoons. Now, do you feel like that's more of a common thing with the manga? Is that they, even with the biggest genres, they tend to always like follow a little bit into the shonen, where, you know, webtoons they don't have a true like shonen base as much as they have that much more expansive to go to all kinds of genres.
For sure.
You got to think about like what is shonen. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. And
no,
it's like it's meant for a kid demographic, like, and like a teen demographic. And growing up, you know, they teach you all this. Everybody wins. You gotta be friends and nice to everybody, like all that shit, and like that's just what hits for kids. Like even if they don't understand the full totality of the series and like all the deeper meanings, that still connects to them. So
Right. Well, I mean, even to say like not just specifically shonen, but just like manga overall in general. When you see some of the different genres, you hear, you know, the most top ones. If you were to go to any person and ask them some of their favorites, they're probably going to give you like a seinen, a shonen, or a shoujo, and that's it. And you know, where webtoons, it's like, all right, what's your favorite genre? Horror, you know, history, action. You know, there's no set like path to really go. You just kind of like bring what it is you like, and you just kind of find something in there that kind of fits that, and it like really works out.
The same way, but I think the misconception is that webtoon is so much easier access right now. People have the manga, if that makes sense. Like you can go to the webtoon app right now and you can find you so much content to go catch free. You don't have to spend a dime. You get what I'm saying? And you can just go catch all of this content. Oh, in manga, you gotta do some searching. You gotta do some looking. You gotta ask around. Yes, you do.
I would say it's almost reversed.
Yes, you do. I think so. I think I don't think it's the same. I think with Webtoon, the Webtoon app, you could just hop on and you can just look. But what can you really just go to? You have to find these different apps for manga and go through them. Yes, you can do it because we're adept to it now, y'all. We used to it. You get what I'm saying? But if you want to just casual into it, they can hop into this Webtoon app and go stupid. You get what I'm saying? But they can't really go and click a manga app and go find all. And it's not as pleasing. It's not as, you know what I'm saying? I do.
Well, that's part of the history of the accessibility and the distribution of webtoons compared to manga. So, like, you know, manga.
I'm loving that we just segued into the next topic too. Perfect.
Yeah, was definitely, you know, about, you know, like, you know, we have Shonen Jump, you know, and then we have shoujo stuff. Like they specifically separated male and female topics in manga, and this is where we're at now, where it's like when you're saying you're looking for diversity, it's kind of their own fault for, you know, like dividing their genres. And now, but comparatively to webtoons, because webtoons is definitely a modern day development, then like it's built on a more open-minded platform already. I'm not saying, like, you know, Shonen Jump isn't like doing better and trying to be more inclusive in what they're making right now, but at the same time, we're at the point where it already set up an infrastructure where they're like, this is for boys and these are for girls.
Okay, I definitely do.
While Shonen Jump is mostly there about girls, which is hilarious.
Hilarious. Easy shots for them.
I mean, come on.
It's very much true. Now, as we already segued into it, I wanted to even discuss on access and distribution between manga and webtoons. You basically did bring up that point. I showed that right away. You know, with you have the Webtoons app right in front of you. You have just an access to the library immediately. Where with manga, you know, for free, yes. But with manga, you have to.
No, it's not immediate. You know, it's like Webtoons where you can, like, oh, hey, I can buy to get the next 3 future chapters that haven't been publicly released. So,
but I mean,
if you want to,
if you want
to,
yeah, the idea seems, but still, the idea behind it being it, yeah.
But like,
yeah,
you think about Viz Media, you got to pay like $2 a month, you know, to get the latest content and what's going on for public.
Exactly.
I mean, you might have to wait a few days.
Even the backlog, you have to pay.
Yeah, are we gonna act like we're in the early 2000s where you guys can just easily Google search these things? Like, come on, we're not back in the day anymore.
It's illegal though. We're talking about.
It's illegal.
We're talking about just legal.
Okay, wait.
About legality.
Oh boy.
Now we talking about
I get what you're saying.
Hold up.
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But what the point I'm making though is when we're talking about the grand scheme in terms of supporting these artists who bust their ass for this, and we're talking about the access for it, Webtoon is killing both at one time. They are giving you the free access to access these artists' backlog. And then when you get this backlog for free and you enjoy it, I can spend $15 on 150 coins, and it's gonna cost me $5 a coin for the newest chapter. And I'm into what? I can get into how many series, and then I can just do that every week. I don't have to keep paying every week. I can pay that every month, maybe 2 months, depending on how much I read. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of like easy access. And I get what you're saying, but the bigger scheme I'm trying to make is for people who don't want to do all of that. We don't want to have to go into this Google search. I mean, you just want to get on this little app.
I mean,
you get what I'm saying?
If we're talking about legally, then yeah, I got your point. But if you're just talking about just regular, just access in general, I mean, it's too much. Too many sites out there. You can just go get the ghetto sites that me and Trent go to. You just go get it. You can just go get it.
And I get that. I do. I mean,
careful, we're not getting sponsored for this.
I just like I have to give Webtoons their props. They're doing it the right way.
Yeah, I got you.
They're doing it the right way, man. Like they're killing it.
All right, so it seems like
definitely where. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you were gonna say. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna add my little tidbit in on it, and that's where like Korea is like leaving Japan in the dust because they figured out the way to bridge the gap from, hey, we want to support the authors, but hey, we want to get our content out there to as many people as possible. Whereas Japan is still in the dark ages. Like, we're going to separate all these genres. We're going to have, not only are we going to separate all these genres, we're going to have each genre in its own separate magazine. And the only way you can really see at least some of these series, mainly shonen, is if you download the Shonen Jump app or you download Manga Plus and then have at it. Whatever we have on there, you can do. However, on Shonen Jump, you got to pay for this. Manga Plus is free, but you don't get the backlog. Webtoons, you got everything from the first chapter or the prologue all the way to where it is current. Of course, if you want that fast pass stuff, you have that too. And I mean, that's just where Japan has to catch up, but Webtoons is definitely killing the game as far as that aspect.
Yeah. I do definitely agree that in the ideas of distribution and access, Webtoons very clearly has a better foothold, at least going forward with how they're, set up and how they're doing everything. Now, for manga, while they might be a little bit dated in that because they've been around for so long, and because of that comes with traditions and how they prefer to do something, that leads to a little bit of a stagnation and a little bit of trouble trying to get things moving forward. Also for the fact that so many of these of this content is all home based, and either it's not translated or it's never licensed. So the only way that a lot of us get it are, of course, a lot of the lovely dark sites that we have to go to where someone personally translates, or one of us can actually read it. But
Hood translations.
It's
translation, baby.
Good scans for life.
Hell, baby.
Now,
when people was mad because the poo ain't say, "I'm gonna drop this bass."
Hey,
now,
when the poo said, "Hey, what's up, kid?" I said, "Oh, he this nigga talking."
now.
Hey.
I was going to say, the one thing, though, between that's great with access and distribution is that the manga side of industry having access and distribution comes with a ton of other benefits on top of it. They have a lot of job security. They, are paid up front for a lot of their material. They have a, not just coming with a stable income, but they can also monetize on that a little bit easier with having access to people that, know industry handlings and business marketing and all of that kind of thing, so they can capitalize on either their success or their popularity. Whereas Webtoons, it's like, we all know we can go to one place to get the Webtoons, but I know at least 4 sites, 12 different stores, that I can find everything about, MAH, manga, Jujutsu Kaisen. I can go anywhere and there's merchandise, there's all kinds of things, but Webtoons is I can get a shirt, but it's probably bootleg.
Right. Now, when it comes to merch stuff, that's for real. But,
I'm just saying, the bootleg merch is better than the official merch.
Why'd you wearing your shirt, dog? You got a cold
Yo, I got the Tower God merch and stuff coming in. You got No, hell no.
Not
I ain't getting no loyalty.
Now here's the thing. Now, would you guys consider this as well, as far as the accessibility and the sales and even like the stores and stuff like that? Because and again, this is my opinion because I've just recently gotten to Webtoons, is because Webtoons is maybe newer on the scene. Like, yeah, they're better at the accessibility because they came through at this time, and maybe they're not so solid on the back end of things because they haven't had that history as far as like manga has survived through fucking Manga Reader, fucking Manga Panda, fucking I don't even know have some or some
Manga Stream,
shut
Kiss
down.
Manga.
Very,
black market will always exist.
I mean, yes, technically the black market will always exist. Is in any kind of industry, there will be some kind of underhanded dealings to that.
Until Japan figures out how to have it as a global phenomenon instead of just being regionally locked. Like if I looked anything up in YouTube, it'd be like, oh, this is locked from your region because blah 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 blah, and I'm like, Japan, it's not that hard to just be like, here, people want to see it. This is how you sell it.
I can't get over the fact that it's a puppet talking on the screen.
Yeah, I can't look at that.
See, now y'all know what we get to deal with every time.
Oh man.
So
I think the biggest thing about with Webtoons being newer too is that a lot of the artists on the Webtoon app, they actually are independent artists who they like had just Patreons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So
they just had like Patreons and stuff like that.
They just make it in their own home. They make all the comments.
Yeah, like
they make it like literally in the room. They sit there, they draw all the panels, whatever.
Yep.
No more
And
getting
like,
locked in
and
I think that's the big difference. I think that's the huge difference where like you guys keep saying where manga has this large, big machine behind it. I like to compare it to music. Okay, because I think we all into music to a degree here, right? The independent artists, they all know how to move on their own, like with SoundCloud and stuff like that, right? And so SoundCloud is basically where they like to pull all of these independent artists together and they put them there. And if you want to, you can pay for the monthly subscription. If not, you can just listen to when you listen to it and you're gonna deal with some ads. But when you got these big corporations, maybe you manga is different because everything with them is like I can only get it pushed out if the big machine wants to push me out.
Right.
Because the big machine is part of the Japanese corporate. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of what it is. It's part of their culture. You get what I'm saying? So it's different with South Korea because they're already a really progressive country in itself in terms of what they've had to deal with in their history, where stuff like that, I think independence is what they try to reach for, you know, while Japan likes to keep things very traditional and they like to keep it very safe. Because when you're a manga artist, you're on this teetering edge of, I have the security of a career, I have to do everything they tell me to do. You get what I'm saying? But then when you're a webtoon artist, I kind of have the security of the career because people are buying my stuff here and there. But then like I am stressed the hell out because I'm doing everything at home with no backing. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, both of them have their cons and their pros. So it's like it's just really cool to look at them both. But I think with Webtoon, it'd be probably funner for the artist because when you want to take a break, nobody's on your ass about it.
This is true.
Everybody hates Togashi because he wants to take a break, even though he's been sick for fucking 20-something years. But when your favorite Webtoon artist goes on hiatus, you know what I'm saying, SIU, nobody has a problem. You gotta get what I'm saying? Like, it's this really different dynamic.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think another thing with that is the artists for Webtoons compared to the artists for Japan and manga. The Webtoon artists are a lot more accessible. So we get to see, their process and everything that they're doing. Like for instance, on Twitter, I've been conversing with the artist for Mage and Demon Queen. And she responds, she, likes comments and everything. The same with Yuri-chan for An Ordinary. And even SIU, he's on Twitter and he's tweeting out everything and giving his thoughts on. Yeah, they're way more accessible. So I think because of that, the fans of Webtoons don't have a problem if they need to take hiatus. As for the artists in Japan, you don't even know who the hell they are or where they're at or even how to get in touch with them or to even praise their work.
So it's like a communicative thing.
But I'm just saying
I feel like as a consumer, that's kind of selfish because you got to remember the culture of Japan. And people outside
I'm just
of Japan,
saying, like for casuals, people, like us, we know the culture and we know the differences and why it is the way it is. But like, as for a casual person who's trying to get into certain series and everything, given that we are in the social age, that's more beneficial and that's what people might gravitate to more.
Okay.
Right. And like I said, because manga is this big corporation that's publishing, they don't want them to be able just to talk. You know what I'm saying? They don't want them to be able to be out. Right. That's the big old issue behind it. That strong. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, like I say, with music, some artists can't tweet and be as vocal as they want to be, and they can't. You get what I'm saying? It sucks. It really does.
It very much does. But yeah,
Hiroshima doesn't have that. That nigga tweets.
Just whatever. Maybe they should all just start writing for the video game industry. Those motherfuckers will just say whatever the hell they want at times. Doesn't even matter. But yeah, so since we already started touching into it even a little bit with cultural differences, I noticed that does affect a lot, not just the content, but also, how we have like access to a lot of the Webtoon people. You know, you can their Twitter, you know, they're vlogging, they're, you know, doing Q&As, they're constant contact with their communities and their consumers. Whereas, you know, with mangas, they're a little bit more, you know, taken aback. Granted, you could probably, if we were actually there, you know, usually if there's a con or something we can go to, you can see the writer, or, you know, you get to see, interact with them just a little bit or hear their next ideas. But it is still very much in a controlled environment. You know, you don't just say whatever you want at them and they'll respond to you directly. Now that could, I'm wondering if that's specifically because of the culture of the way that either the structure of Japan, how it's set up, or more so just the overall structure of, you know, how mangas have just been for so long.
I hate to ask a question with a question, but it kind of adds on to what you're saying. Is it just me, or are y'all finding a lot of these Webtoon artists are really younger too? They're really young.
They are.
They are
Like, you know what I'm saying?
They start off
So
a lot
I'm
younger.
wondering if that's a part of it. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a big part of it.
I would probably say that, yeah.
I thought he
Yeah,
started
he started-
17.
I think it was
16, 17, I thought.
16,
I want to
17.
say, I think it was 17 because he didn't start until, we're talking about SIU, right?
SIU.
Yeah.
Did he like start
Okay,
right?
yeah.
He died
Yeah,
in
pretty
the
sure
military.
He started.
You know,
his-
he was like on
he
the
started,
field. When he's down.
yeah, he was in the military, and that's when he started doing Tower of God, when he was active in the military,
Mhm.
and he just did a
Okay,
bunch
yeah.
of notebooks and stuff. But he was like 17, 18, whatever.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought. Something like that.
All right. I mean, yeah. Definitely with an age difference, that'll easily can see some, you know, a different way of handling things, because the younger folks will, of course, always want to find the newest, best way to communicate or, you know, just interact with everything. Whereas after years and years and years of doing something continuously, you're just gonna keep doing it because you know it works. It's functional. Why try to find something else in between it? Now, one other thing though, with that, with so many of the authors and creators being of a younger group, do you feel that at all sways at least not only where their content goes, but also, you know, just their overall effect and flow as how they handle things? Because I see with a lot of mangas, even with shonen, there are certain situations and certain things that they will talk about and other things they will not talk about. They will, of course, always have the same tropes of bringing in certain characters or showing off certain things, where, you know, with Webtoons and even some of the younger generations, they may just take a wide range of topics. Like nothing's off the table. They'll go everywhere and anywhere, you know, even if it does alienate them to a degree of certain individuals. Do you guys feel like anywhere on that?
I think the age could play into it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
probably gonna say age.
Because I mean, I would definitely want to. I would definitely want to handle
be more progressive.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely want to hear something.
Where, you know, the younger generation in Japan has learned, you know, our phrase "okay, boomer," and they use it against the older generation in Japan too. I think we're getting there correctly. It's, you know, the younger generation of artists, they communicate a bit more, and the older generation, like we were talking about Hunter x Hunter before, you know, Togashi, like we all know he gets sick, but that's also because of his own damn like living quarters most of the time, right? But you know,
no, but okay.
Oh,
That was a lie.
I can't say on that one.
Okay.
He gets sick
that was a
a lot.
I don't know his.
I mean, yeah, but you say his own living quarters. You kind of like, you kind of just took that. Yeah, that was weird. Because he definitely was abusing, but that's never mind. Next.
Yeah.
What was your point?
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, if the older generation could communicate a bit more, but is it because, like, they refuse to learn how to communicate, or is it just because, like, you know, they're old, like, they just don't know how to do it? So
it's just life, man.
I think it's a refusal in his life, right?
Yeah, it's life.
It's a combination of refusal plus the fact that some of them just don't have the capacity later. Like, you have,
and they don't need to.
Yeah, but then you have like my mom who barely knows how to work emojis. So it's like,
yeah. So you gotta just, if you're older, you gotta just keep up with it.
Though, so
yeah, exactly. So you got to keep up with it. You have to make an effort when you're older to keep up with technology.
shout out
that
to
type
mama,
of thing.
I still love you.
Oh dang!
So yeah, man, damn.
It's just life. The younger kids are gonna do things different than the older generation does. This is how it is, man. I mean, and the older generation doesn't want to keep up. They'll keep doing what they're doing. You get where to get lost. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And also at the same time, though, like it's not like Shonen Jump doesn't have enough money to be like, guys, we have a younger generation PR person here, right? Like, you know, when you look at like Wendy's on Twitter, or like they get somebody, or like Arby's, right? They get somebody who is from our generation to do the memes and the PR work for them. So like, I don't think it'd be that hard to get someone to do that for Shonen Jump or anyone from the manga industry too.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a matter of, do they really need to do that? When you're a well-established mangaka at the age of 60 years old and you've been doing this for 30 years, do you really feel the need to have a young person be your PR agent on social media? Like, I mean, really think about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you've been doing this so long and you've already established this background, you've established who you are, why do you feel the need to do that? I mean, I know people want to say connect to your fans, but it's like, I mean, like, what more do you want them to do? Especially someone like Togashi, who's not constantly making work anyway. Why does he? I don't really need you to talk to me too much. When you come back, you come back. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how I take it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like even Berserk, for example.
I think the difference is his
assistants talk. Yeah, but I mean, even if you want
I think they actually need to adapt to what's happening, not just because they want. Like they don't want to, but they should need to, because they always should be selling for like the future market. It's not like I'm not going to live forever to read this stuff forever, all right? And that's how it's supposed to be.
I get what you're saying.
If
but neither is he going to be able to write it forever.
If
you
they
get
have,
what I'm saying?
No, yeah. But if the industry itself has this sense to be like, hey, we market towards this generation, then like by doing like the power of friendship shit, then what they should also be doing is maybe we should also market towards that generation by like how they market that generation.
But okay, but you say how they market, but we're people who are outside of Japan, and I know I see a lot of actual physical marketing for their stuff in Japan. So like for maybe them in their bubble of their country, they're used to being able to do the things physically for them, and they haven't reached the level of trying to be global in that aspect, I guess, and being on social media and wanting to talk to people outside of that. But I still don't see the need as of right now, because especially for older people, I'm saying, because like, I mean, really, why? Like, older people, I don't see the point. For like Jujutsu Kaisen and like Act Age, I understand, because these are like 20-year-old mangaka, But like older people, I don't really see the purpose.
Now, if I may, I don't, and I get what you're saying as far as with somebody like, I think we shouldn't consider Togashi in that kind of conversation, because, like you said, when you make it, bro, you make it and drop it. But I do think, like they were saying, it is important to grow with the times, to continue to cater to the market. And in a day where you're getting that instant gratification by even being able to be in contact with somebody, or being able to like their post, or being able to see what they're talking about, or when they're talking about releasing, or if they're just dropping, or whether it be ideas, whatever. I do think it's going to be increasingly important to stay, I guess, kind of relevant to your fans. You know what I'm saying? And especially if you're coming in a whole new industry like Webtoons or whatever, and you're like, and these guys are. And again, just like JC said, like or JD said rather, if you are able to talk to this person, and I mean, even I've never like sent a message to your channel or whatever. I'm not even like anywhere like really long into Unordinary, but I done seen at least 10 like little excerpt notes from her in a little thing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really get that in most people's like mangas or whatever. And like, let's say
Horikoshi, like you mean like editorial notes in manga, because that's not true, but I'm confused.
No, I mean, there's everything as far as just like them saying like, she just says like little minor notes. Like, you don't see that when it comes to Oda or Togashi or not Togashi, but you don't see that Oda or My Hero Academia, nigga. They don't really say much, nigga. They drop the chapters, nigga, and that's just about it.
They have the editorial notes, but the magazine puts out different editorial notes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about like right there, like yo, you can see it like right off the bat.
In the chapter though.
You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, if you're a type of person to go out of your way to look at their editorial notes, then you're satisfied there. But for somebody who's a casual or whatever, and you're reading through and you see, okay, damn. And not only did I just get the chapter, I'm just seeing what I can just, I didn't have to go nowhere to see what the artist is saying or whatever. I just think it's important to kind of stay connected. And if you're older and you're putting shit out, unless you're built already, unless you're a solid One Piece or a fucking Kingdom or whatever, you got to do what you got to do, because unless your work is already standing, like you're gonna fall through.
And I think the only older person I think that even does that needs to be doing is the Villain Saga mangaka. Like, and I'm glad he's doing it. He's so active on Twitter, and his anime just came. He's been doing it for 10 years, That's been cool. He's been getting a lot of publicity on Twitter. He's been getting like a lot of people looking at him. Yeah, a lot of people looking at him.
Very, very good there. So I just wanted to kind of keep on that one and keep the flow going there. I did want to bring up one idea for not just, with this older generation and the culture, but now between both of the two with a global impact and influence. Manga's been around for centuries, so its global impact has already been well felt. All of us here have been pretty much touched by that. So now we have basically this new rise with Webtoons coming out, kind of riding that same wave, but in a completely different format with a ton of different ideas and influence behind it. Do you see like the differences or even just complete overshadowing of that global impact between the two? Do you see possibly Webtoons even rising above it at some point or meeting it anywhere?
Perfect example of this is One Punch Man. And I'm talking about the original, like One Punch Man by One. Okay, that is a webcomic. Okay, and then it became like a manga, and I think that is the best way to see where like the manga industry needs to go. It needs to open up to like newer artists, to fresher faces. Like I'm glad to see Akira Toriyama do some things from time to time, but man, when every single thing comes back to just Dragon Ball, I'm just like, guys, give me something new, right?
He did like some other stuff.
Yeah, things. Yeah, we got Dragon Quest too. Yeah, okay, cool. No, we have Kubo. Kubo is doing something new. He has that new witch thing that's coming out, right?
How he messed up Bleach at the end. That's what.
Yeah.
Let's not go down that. Let's not go down that horrible road.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna watch through Bleach too. Let's not.
There are some artists that do at least try to do things like the mangaka for Full Metal Alchemist. Like after she did Full Metal Alchemist, she did Silver Spoon, which is an agricultural manga, and that's a completely different topic from Full Metal Alchemist. So there are the newer mangakas who do try to do different things. It is just, the industry is kind of holding on to like several old names, and they should open up for newer names. And that's how we got One Punch Man, right? With someone who was like, hey, this is really good. Let me help you redraw it, and we can work on this together. And that's what happened. So hopefully we have something more like that in the future, where ideas that are made by, manga fans and young manga artists are actually mentored properly, or at least like given a chance with a Webtoon like platform.
Mm-hmm. And they are doing that, because remember the recent Shonen Jump competition, they're accepting all over the world. They were accepted on.
Yes, that's
all over the world. That was a big
kind of thing.
Forward.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying that was a big step forward. I was surprised by that. Really surprised.
Very, very, very much so.
Yeah.
Now, as you were saying though, Ark, since we are getting late on time, I do want to bring up that with the idea of that having those mentor-mentee ship. Isn't it kind of surprising though you don't see a ton of the older heads of manga kind of move over to Webtoons, where life is not as stressful because they don't have to be cranked out by a machine anymore. They can kind of tell their stories how they would like.
That's not the way. I don't think Webtoons are the way they want to tell their stories.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
You think they just see it and just like, nah, that's not how it works?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't even think they
just
think
how
that
it
that's
works.
not how it works. I just don't think it's their style. Like, I think they probably respect Webtoons and think it's very creative and probably like them. I just don't think that's their style. I think Japanese artists are very traditional, and that's just me seeing from my outside bubble. I don't know within know, their community. I don't know, but I just think they're very, they like their manga panels and they like to be as creative as they can with them black and white panels, and I think they do a good ass job, to be honest. But they
some of them do.
They like them.
Yeah,
some of
They
them
like
very
them
much
black
do.
and white panels, boy.
Shout out to Blue Lock.
They like them black.
Shout out to Blue
Yeah,
Lock.
I mean,
Yes.
I still need to pick that one up.
And that's a mangaka. That's a mangaka whose
Hurry up,
last work
sleepy.
got axed because it was not good at all. That's funny.
Very, very much so. But yeah, so even looking in between those two global impacts for all of that around, and just to bring everything back all the way around there, with webtoons and mangas themselves, do we see any sudden shifts happening in the near future between the two? I mean, manga has got anime and it seems pretty steady as it is right now, but do we see the sudden rise now that webtoons are starting getting translated over into animes, and now we're also seeing them getting turned into live actions already, which was really, really quick, because it took a while before I even remember seeing the first live action manga or anime anywhere.
Well, the thing about live action is South Koreans, they like live action stuff.
This is true.
That's their thing. They like live action things. So that's kind of I wasn't surprised by that, because they do that with a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So that to me wasn't really you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I get what you're saying. I do agree. I do think that there is going to be a rise kind of in it. But people got to remember that Crunchyroll and Webtoon is what did this. So it's not like Crunchyroll is some super powerful mainstream anime company that can just get shit shaken when it's time to get shit shaken. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think if things become popular, depending on how it goes, you know what I'm saying? If things become popular, then I think maybe some anime companies, if they have the ability to, they might try to dive in that webtoon bag. The only issue is they're probably going to try to monopolize it. And that's what
very much
that's
true.
going to become the deeper issue that's going to become a thing, is they're probably going to try to become controlled.
Probably.
But, I mean, who knows?
It's very, very, very possible. It's looking like it's already noon. I don't know if Noxie's yelled at anybody yet and told us to get off of here, because I know a few of y'all got another. I know a few of y'all got another panel to run up to anyway.
Yeah,
and I don't want to.
I don't think he has yet.
Okay,
we got a panel right after this. So
okay,
just start wrapping it up.
Yeah, we can definitely start wrapping this up here a little bit. Do we got any closing remarks from anybody else? Any other ideas, topics that they wanted to bring up in this for their fight? Nope. All right. Good.
I'm a lot of slander and everything throughout the stream.
I mean, why would there not be?
No. I got something. I think I would like to see more editors in Webtoons.
That is one thing I probably would love to see. One thing that manga does went on.
Definitely
they have editors. Definitely
they have editors, but we need some more, because some of them translations be iffy. They be a little spooky.
Yeah,
it's not just the translations. It's also sometimes you just need a second person to look over this. You're like, is this really the direction you want to go?
Are you sure those are the right words you wanted to put together? Just want to be positive that's what you think.
Do you really want to make a story called Dog N-Word here? I need to know.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
That's actually a webtoon, yes.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, and I hate
it is a real webtoon.
I hate it.
You didn't know that?
I hate the fact that it's a real
Nope,
webtoon.
sure didn't.
Ooh, I would love to get your opinion on that,
Koreans
Daisho.
at that board table at Naver was like,
I'm never reading.
This
They was like, nah.
I don't know,
They took that down so quick.
Oh goddamn! All right. So I think with that we can probably go ahead and get this wrapped up before Daisho looks like he's about to punch somebody with that. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us again for the second day of panels on our first one here with Webtoons versus Manga. I will go ahead and close us all the way out. I'm of course your host, as well as the illustrious everyone else here we have here with Daisho, Ark, JD, JC, Lord Eisen right here beneath me. Seraph all the way in the corner there, and Trent D Money.
You already know who it is.
I do.
Yes.
I
Y'all
do.
make sure to if you want to check out those links below for Black Lives Matter charity and also COVID-19 charities. If you can donate, please do. If not, share it out with people. Maybe they would like to donate and help these causes.
Yes, very much so.
Please
do. Every little bit helps for sure. But with that, I will go ahead and I think we can close this one out. I will see all of y'all hopefully soon.
Bye.
Take it easy. Bye.
Peace.
say peace. I see that K3 poster back there. I see that. That a K3 poster. I see that there.
Wait, who?
I see that.
Oh, you talking about
That's
Trent?
a penguin right